One of the biggest questions we get is, how do I fit everything into my life? Family, job, working out, eating right. In our society, now more than ever, it can seem a little overwhelming. There's just too many things to do, and sometimes when there's so many things to do, you don't knock them down one at a time, you just avoid them altogether. You crawl up into the fetal position in your bed and you just think to yourself, make it all go away. I've been there, and I'm sure a few of you have been there too. But the great news is that we have something on our side, and those things are a set of big balls. It's true. I've got them, and you've got them too. What are they, and how exactly do you use them? Well, a few of you might know the answer to the question, but for those of you who don't, let's go over it right now. What I hold in my hand may look like a jar to some, but this is much more than that. This is you. And you, like a jar, are a container, and you can hold many things. So we're gonna begin filling it up to see just how much you can hold. We're gonna begin by filling our container with some kitty litter. Why? Because kitty litter, for the most part, is full of shit. And that kitty litter represents all the little time wasters that we do to occupy our day. Whether that be mindlessly scrolling through Instagram or getting on Amazon and adding things to our cart that we know we can't afford anyways. And as you can see, that filled up a pretty decent part of our container. Next, we're gonna go ahead and move on to your little balls. They represent important, but not necessarily essential things, such as catching up with some buddies after work, doing chores around the house, and keeping up to date on the news. And as you can see, we've filled ourselves just about halfway. Okay, now let's go ahead and move on to your big balls. These ones are the most important of all. Let's say this first one is your job. Let's say the second one is keeping healthy, your eating, your fitness. Let's say this third one is your family. Now, as you can see, it doesn't fit, so I guess we're just probably gonna have to get rid of it, right? And this fourth one, well, we don't even have to name it because we already know it doesn't fit. So what is our jar full of at the moment? We've got our completely unnecessary stuff, we have our little tasks, and then we have our big balls. And we had to throw away a few of them because they just couldn't fit. Now I think, as most of you can guess, that's probably not gonna work out very well in the long run. Our priorities, well, they're just not quite in the right place. But let's go ahead and switch it up a little bit and put our big balls first. So once again, we're empty. We have a clean slate, and we're gonna go ahead and put our big balls first. This one is gonna be family, job, health, and we'll go ahead and call this one spirituality. All right, there we go. Now, let's go ahead and put the little balls. Okay, there we go. Big and little balls are both sitting comfortably. And now, let's go ahead and add a little bit of that kitty litter, because even though it can be mindless, we all succumb to it from time to time. So we put our big balls first, and everything that came afterwards fit perfectly. And remember, this is not a quest to fill your container as far as it goes, but simply to prioritize big things and then smaller and smaller until finally you get to the kitty litter. So if it's still a little too packed, go ahead and remove a few things because there's only so much we can handle. And once you've found the perfect amount to put into your container so it's not overstuffed, well then it's time for your final ingredient, because yes, we have room for just one more thing. A crisp, refreshing cold beer. And this one stands for the reminder that as hectic, stressful, and crazy as life can be sometimes, well, every once in a while you just gotta slow down, pour yourself a drink, and relax. So let's go ahead and shut this thing. So there we go. We put our big balls first, we made sure not to overfill our container, and we celebrated with a nice cold beer. Yeah.